Hello there everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be looking at the new Ahsoka trailer, so without wasting any time, let's just dive right into it. The trailer opens with a Rebel frigate and then a Ada class or Ada looking class shuttle moving towards it. And on board are Baylan and Shin, which are the new dark side characters for Ahsoka. They're not Sith because they have the orange lightsabers. These are not red, they're a reddish orange. And so the best guess right now is that they're dark Jedi or something like that, independent Force users or whatever. And they're boarding this New Republic ship. And it seems that the New Republic officers think that they're Jedi from something Baylan says later. But it seems Baylan orders Shin to just go all out on all these poor Republic officers, which are not going to be able to do anything against them. There's a Mon Calamari here, and the Rebel, yeah, they're standing here. Everyone's just doing their own thing. They bring out their lightsabers, and they're all shocked. The captain or whatever draws his blaster. Baylan doing his Darth Vader hallway scene. That's great. Force pushing people around. Telling the captain, "We are no Jedi." And then just straight up stabbing him. Which, yeah. Here's a shot of Ahsoka we've seen before. And then here's this picture, which the first time I saw it, it reminded me a lot of the Zepho from Jedi Fallen Order. But it's not. It's obviously not the Zepho. It's probably some ancient Jedi temple or whatever. And they're looking for Thrawn, of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire. I still love that they say heir to the Empire as in the book. I still think that's so cool. And this is the same shot we got in the teaser before, where it's just the back of Thrawn's head, which we'll see a little more than the back of his head in just a bit. But here's probably a shot from where Ahsoka's gonna go and Baylan and Shin are. So, yeah, this is probably a old Jedi, or some Force temple or whatever. Not a temple, a site or whatever. But they're going to be looking for things here. They're looking for Thrawn. Morgan Elsbeth, she somehow, I thought she was arrested, but it looks like she's out now, and all three of them are looking for Thrawn. Here's a map of the galaxy over like the green fire, and one thing I saw is that like she does kind of look like it's possible maybe she could maybe be a Night Sister, or at least use my Night Sister magic because of like the green fire, maybe. And then like this map bubble thing or whatever, the rocks all light up. Oh wait, no, it's not a temple. It's like a map room or whatever. All the rocks light up, and they can look around. And we've seen this shot before where Shin is on the bridge of this ship and kills everyone. Here is a really cool fleet shot of a New Republic fleet. It has all the main ships. There's a new MC-80 model. Love that ship. CR-90s, Hammerheads. Here's more of those new frigates. Oh yeah, here's a Rebel medical frigate. Oh no, I forgot what it was called. Oh no, I'll put it up on screen. I forgot what it was called. I feel horrible. Here's some A-wings. I don't see any X-wings, but they're somewhere. Here's another look at live-action Hera. We've seen this one before, talking about how she spent her whole life fighting the Empire, which we've seen that before. They're flying in the Phantom 2, and we got Chopper again. Great to see Chopper again. Yeah, he looks just like he does from the show. He looks great. And then there's this odd ship carrying this. I don't know what that could be. We'll just have to see what that is. All right, so here's Hera talking to a New Republic council or whatever with Mon Mothma here in the middle. That's so cool to see Mon Mothma back again, and some other senators are standing around trying to convince them to help try to find Thrawn so that he doesn't rise to power again, so that they don't have to fight a whole nother war again. And then these two characters back here, I forget their names, but their names were sort of leaked on the new Ghost Lego set, which is based on the Ahsoka show. So they have names, and they're going to be characters in the show. I don't remember their names. And then here's the Ahsoka's Jedi shuttle, and Hera going to go meet Ahsoka, and here's Hu Yang. Incredible to see Hu Yang back again. Here's live action Sabine as the rainbow hair and all that. Looks great. And she's hanging not yet. And she's hanging out here on Lothal. There's Lothal. There's the new Lothal city. Ahsoka has come in her shuttle to try to convince Sabine to help her hunt down Thrawn and find Ezra. Here's Ezra's old home, which Sabine is now living in. And it's been like, okay, so The Mandalorian is it's 5 years after Endor. It's either 5 or 10 years. It's one of those. So it's 4 years from A New Hope to Return. No, it's not. I don't know, but it's been a few years since Ezra's went missing. And then here we saw this in some of the 2022 Ahsoka footage. No, 2022 or something. I don't remember, but this is an E-Wing, one of the classic ships from old Star Wars Legends. It's so cool to see one of those ships again. One small difference is, as you'll see a little bit later, but here's like the roads on Lothal, and has a nice loath cat here, and then AEB or whatever. I think that's AE or EA, but that's B. But here they're talking about how Sabine was very stubborn with her training, which I guess off screen, Sabine and Ahsoka maybe trained a little bit so that Sabine could get a little better with her lightsaber skills, because she doesn't have the dark saber anymore. She gave that to Bo-Katan, and then Bo-Katan had that taken by Moff Gideon. So Sabine's been using Ezra's lightsaber. Hera's saying to Ahsoka, maybe you also weren't the best student ever, and Ahsoka's saying, I never got to finish my training, and she walked away, which she did, which was the right thing at the time, and also that is kind of some part of the reason why she actually did survive the purge, so the Order 66, the Jedi Purge, and she's also one of the last Jedi left, and also it seems Ahsoka walked away from Sabine as well. So here's Lothal. This is not the shot from the very end of Rebels, because Sabine is not in her armor and doesn't have her haircut yet. And also Ahsoka is not in her white robes, which we'll talk about that in just a bit. But they're outside here. But yeah, Sabine's saying to Ahsoka, you never made things easier for me either. And they're looking over a map here, which is maybe the map of that one temple or map area. But here's a shot of, that shot. So I guess someone's chasing Sabine. So yeah, the E-Wing is chasing Sabine for some reason. And here's the speeder from Rebels, the Imperial speeder, which she's obviously recolored and all that. It looks great. Yeah, these speeders are really cool. But let's go back a bit. This shot, this is the leaked one, and this is where we knew the E-Wing was going to be in the show. The big difference with this E-Wing from the older one is that it doesn't have the top cannon over it. So yeah, she goes underneath, and then there's a droid on the very top, like an X-Wing. But the big difference between the E-Wings and X-Wings is that the E-Wing did have an astromech, but it was internal. So And also, this one is not not an R2 unit. I've seen some people say maybe it could be like an early BB unit, which sure it could be. It seems a little bigger to be a BB unit, but maybe some sort of advanced astromech droid to be inside this ship. And then Sabine sort of like disrespectfully saying master to Ahsoka because it seems that they haven't spoken in a while. And then here we see Sabine looking at a hologram of Ezra talking to her about what it means to be a Jedi. And yeah, live action Ezra. And here's Sabine in her Mandalorian armor and all that. And then this scene right here, this is important to see because she's cutting her longer hair because at the end of Rebels she has the shorter hair. But here she's cutting her hair just the same way as Kanan did at like the final like few episodes of Rebels. Like where he cut his hair and shaved his beard because he was gonna die, and also, but they didn't necessarily know that at the time. But he was cutting it because it was supposed to be a new beginning and all that. So Sabine's cutting her hair in the exact same way with the knife. She cuts her hair. There's her helmet. It looks great. Looks just like it does from Rebels, or at least the ending of Rebels. All right, so here's the part. I guess this is supposed to be the part at the end of Rebels season 4, the final season. And okay, here's the thing that some people didn't really like is that Ahsoka's wearing these gray robes. She's not Ahsoka the White or whatever. She doesn't have the staff here. But this is the same scene at the end of Rebels because Sabine has her short hair and they're about to leave on nice haircut, and they're about to leave on their mission to go to find Ezra and Thrawn. But it really doesn't matter that Ahsoka's not wearing her white robes. Yeah, it doesn't matter that much. They're making the show how they're going to do it right now, so it's fine. All right, so we've seen this shipyard or ship deconstruction yard or whatever it is before in the teaser trailer and some of the other teasers. So Ahsoka is battling a Inquisitor here, and here's some of the assassin droids. I forget what their HK7. That's not right, but one of those assassin droids that we saw in Mando season 2 that were pretty dangerous, but they kind of did just die pretty easily. But here's an Inquisitor. Yeah, this is a great shot, but here's an Inquisitor, which who knows, how is there an Inquisitor still alive? Aren't they all supposed to be dead? We don't know. So, and he has the red lightsaber, not the orange one like Baylan and Shin. They're different. They're not Inquisitors, but Ahsoka's doing an Inquisitor here. And yeah, okay, this is the really cool part. This is the mural that was at the end of Rebels. He's at the end of Rebels, so that Sabine painted. Yeah, it looks so good. It's so cool to see. Like even the still same like animation style, or in this case, it would be the art style in the universe. It looks great. I love it. And they're in a space battle here. Not TIE fighters. They're firing green lasers though. And okay, so here's a shot. I don't know where they are here, but my first thought when I watched this is I thought it was maybe the creature from Solo that was in the maw. No, obviously it was not. This is a Purrgil, most likely. Yeah, it's a Purrgil. So they're gonna be doing a space fight, a dog fight over a Purrgil. Like this is a big Purrgil. This is like one of the ones that could have pulled Thrawn's Star Destroyer away. Like this is a big guy. Yeah, Ahsoka saying if we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain. And here is the first official look at the man himself, Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn. I was so excited when I saw this picture because This picture here had been leaked before, but it was like 144 resolution, so it was horrible. But here's the full 1080. It's Thrawn in all his glory, with the red eyes, the rank insignia, the shoulder badges, everything. The blue hair, it's all there. He looks great. We don't get to see him talk in this trailer, which is a shame, but Lars Mikkelsen, as we know, is the same voice act. It was the voice actor in Rebels, so he also does look a lot like Thrawn. But to hear that voice talking in the show, it's going to be so cool and hopefully really scary, because he is like one of the smartest. He is basically the smartest Imperial there is. Maybe Palpatine's slightly more smarter, but Thrawn would be the second. And then there's some guy back here. I don't know what that is, who he is. I can barely tell, but it sort of looks like a stormtrooper helmet, but it's not a stormtrooper because there's like a see-through part here, so like maybe it's his eyes and nose there, but maybe it's a new kind of guard or whatever. Alright, here's a duel between Sabine and Shin. Shin saying you have no power. One thing I was sort of wondering is that Sabine's holding her hand up like she's trying to use the Force or whatever, and then Shin saying you have no power. Oh, and also like here's her Padawan braid, but she's not like a Jedi Padawan. She's maybe like a dark Padawan or whatever. And then like here's Ezra's lightsaber, the green one. So a thing, some people are maybe theorizing that Sabine could maybe be Force sensitive, because like she is using a lightsaber. She did use the dark saber. She's now using Ezra's lightsaber. I personally don't want her to be Force sensitive because then it's just kind of making everyone Force sensitive. I personally don't want that. I think she can be just as a strong character without having the Force. And I bet she could beat Shin. Maybe, I don't know. I hope she doesn't get hurt or whatever. And then here is back in like the map or temple or whatever where Baylan is, and Ahsoka's arrived. And here's a really interesting thing. Anakin spoke highly of you. So that implies that Baylan was around, because he's pretty old. So maybe he was around during the Clone Wars or that time. So he would have maybe known Anakin, and Anakin would have talked about Ahsoka and all that. So that must mean he's an Order 66 survivor from all those many, many years ago, decades ago. A former Jedi, for some reason, he's turned to the dark side. So we'll have to see how that goes. And also, I'll turn on the audio for this part, because this is really cool. Like there's some this is not really for the breakdown or trailer. It's just like it's a really cool audio thing when he's speaking to Ahsoka, and he says Anakin spoke highly of you. Just listen.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
There's the Darth Vader breathing, which I heard that for the first time. I was like, oh, that's super cool. That's just for like the trailer, I think, but that still sounds super cool. And they're gonna have a lightsaber duel here. And then here's Ahsoka's shuttle. So this is the temple or whatever that she's hanging out in, not the map place on top of that mountain or whatever. This is a temple or whatever, and it's blowing up. I don't know how that's happening. Maybe it's an orbital bombardment or something. But yeah, that's a lot of old stuff just blowing up. So, and yeah, piloting the shuttle, it's probably Hu Yang. Ahsoka, yeah, all the fire is going towards him. And here's Hu Yang. We all love Hu Yang. Yeah. So, any of you who don't know who Hu Yang is, he's a character from the Clone Wars season 5. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I was gonna say 7, but no, not 7. Season 5. He's a lightsaber. He's a sort of a lightsaber smith droid. He worked with Jedi younglings to help create their lightsabers. So he basically knows everything about lightsabers. So he's a pretty important person to have around. And then the rest of the trailer is kind of just just shots from the show. Hera saying once a rebel, always a rebel, and she has the general insignia and like the Phoenix Squadron crest here. It looks great. Oh yeah, and here's Sabine in her Mandalorian armor. Oh, she's not wearing gloves. That's interesting. In her Mandalorian armor, using the grappling hook, uh, grabbing one of Morgan Elsbeth's soldiers, not one of the droids, one of her soldiers that we saw in the Mandalorian with the rifles, which all those guys got demolished by Mando and Ahsoka. Here's another shot of her fighting the Inquisitor with one of the assassin droids. Okay, so here's the thing where, come on. Here's the Inquisitor here, and here's Ahsoka. Here's the shuttle that Baylan and Shin were using. They're firing at both of them, so I don't know if the Inquisitor is working with Thrawn or whatever, but Baylan and Shin, I think it's said that they're mercenaries hired by Thrawn or something. So they're trying to look for Thrawn along with Morgan Elsbeth. And I guess the Inquisitor is not with them. So, like, they're shooting at both of them, so maybe not. Okay, so here's a much better view of this Inquisitor. There have been multiple theories about it, like maybe it's Ezra. I don't think that one's true. Maybe it's Barriss, or maybe it's like the eighth brother, or maybe it's just a brand new Inquisitor. The eighth brother, so the eighth brother, he's an alien. He's not human, which this guy, you cannot tell here, but he has 5 fingers and he has a normal human body. But the species of the eighth brother was a Tyrellian Django jumper, so he has 4 fingers and he has different feet. But so this could be like a live action interpretation of him or whatever. So like at the end of Rebels season 2, he just falls off like the Sith temple because his lightsaber breaks and then he just falls. But in Star Wars, fall doesn't that doesn't hurt you. You're fine from that. But also, it could be Barriss, but Barriss, people have been throwing around the Barriss idea since 2019 with the second sister, the second sister who was in Jedi Fallen Order. That was just a new character, and then they're dueling in a forest here. So yeah, that was the trailer. Another interesting thing is it's going to be a 2-episode premiere now, I guess. So it's supposed to be 8 episodes. Yeah, so that's going to be 7 episodes because the first one will be kind of like a over an hour long opening or whatever. If you combine both of them, they're still going to be separate episodes, but that might mean that not enough happens in the first episode. That happened with Andor and the Bad Batch, where Andor showed the first 3 episodes. Because it is slower. I still think it's one of, if not the best Star Wars show, Andor. It's just, yes, it did take it a little slow, but so maybe this show will have a little slow at the beginning too. Also, the Bad Batch had a 2-episode premiere. That one wasn't as slow. I thought it would have been fine if they didn't do that, but also another reason why this might be a 2-episode premiere, so that it doesn't overlap with Loki, which is going to be coming out just a few days after this show ends. So, yeah, that was the Ahsoka trailer. Really cool. I was really excited to see Thrawn again, whom looks awesome. Some other shots. So, I'll hopefully be doing reviews on each episode as it comes out in like less than 2 months, which that's not that far away. It's the time's flying really quickly. So, the 23rd. Yeah, August 23rd. I hope I can see all of you when I do the episode reviews in August. And I hope all of you have a great day. All right, goodbye.